Hi, Aries Sun and Rising. Welcome to your April 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. This is an amazing month. I think for everyone, this will be a month to remember. But for you guys, this is really going to be something because there are a lot of things going on in the sign of Aries, but even when we talk about the Taurus energy that comes into play, that is in your second house of earned income. So that can be wonderful for money, among other things. And, the second house, we don't talk too much about it, but it can be your sense of self-worth. And that can be enhanced as well. On the first of the month, everything just gets cooking because Mercury goes retrograde on April Fool's Day. So that should be an interesting April Fool's joke. And it's at 27 degrees of Aries. It will be retrograding until the 25th of the month. So during this time when Mercury is in your first house of the self, the house that you rule in astrology, Aries, you may be rethinking something about yourself. And this can be the way that you present yourself. Aries people, being the first sign of the zodiac, are refreshingly direct. There's not a lot of pretense. Although if you have a rise, if you're a sun sign in Aries and your rising sign is not in a harmonious angle or in a sign that is not really very copacetic with Aries, then there might be a bit of difficulty in how you present yourself, but usually it'll be very direct. But some people don't like direct. Some people find it like offensive when people just, what you see is what you get. And there could be other aspects of yourself where you know that you're a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too impatient. And because you have Neptune in the 12th house, which is the spiritual side of life, you may be already kind of studying things of a spiritual nature. Saturn is in Pisces as well in that 12th. And you're learning how to become more patient. You're learning how to be less in the ego and more, thinking of other people and not as in need of, being first. Because that can definitely be something that Aries people tend to do. So, and this can simply affect your life in general, this Mercury retrograde. On the 4th, Venus goes into your first house. So that's very good for appealing to other people, for being very charming, for looking good to other people. Maybe you're actually doing something, and maybe this is connected with that Mercury where you're trying to change something about yourself. But with Venus, it would probably be on the physical level. Like beauty-wise. Or unless it's like being more polite, charming. If you tend to be, I think one thing about Aries, I would say, is that there tends to be this kind of a very terse type of speech and attitude, and I really sense that it has to do with impatience. Like people who are Aries, they just want to get on with things. So they kind of like, if you talk to an Aries person, especially if they have Mercury in Aries too, they'll just be like, yeah. And they don't want to stand there and listen to somebody else yak it up. That's something that you're pretty, it's pretty hard for you to do that. So you might be like realizing that you catch more flies with honey. And this Venus transit will help you to kind of anchor that in. But this can help you because people may have a favorable impression of you. On the 8th, there's a solar eclipse, and this is going to really be prominent in the United States and North America in general. And I don't know much about this in terms of, because as far as I assumed, it might be most visible in the United States, or maybe, and you want to include Canada and Mexico, but I don't know if that would mean automatically that would have more of an influence. But in any case, this is something that is, I think, for the United States, this might be something very important for you. This is in your sign, whether you're sun or ascendant in Aries. So that can be some kind of, especially since this is a solar eclipse, this might be something that is starting up for you. Now remember that this is during the Mercury retrograde. So, and the Mercury retrograde is in your sign too. So see what I mean? All of this stuff happening in your first house. And this can have the possibility of your life changing as a whole. Because in the first house, if we look at that as a house that relates to everything in your life, then it could be that something is jump-starting from this point on. On the 19th, the sun goes into Taurus, and the very next day, for some people, it might be on the 21st instead of the 20th, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at 21 degrees of Taurus. So this might be unexpected money that comes to you. You could say that the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction would be, somebody who wins the lottery, for instance. But the second house isn't the lottery. It's more of the money that you earn and maybe your savings, your possessions that you already have. But I think that it's also good just to broaden it to include anything, even like your investments, even though that might be more the 8th house or something like that. I still believe that it can be included because it's income. So this could be a surprise, a pleasant surprise for sure. And, another thing that these two planets, Jupiter and Uranus, represent is freedom. Jupiter is a ruler of Sag, a fellow fire sign, and Uranus, Aquarius. So, even like in terms of ideas about money making, Uranus can be technology. So if you have started something online, maybe through YouTube, and then all of a sudden it goes viral, well, I said it here first, right? On the 23rd, we have a full moon at 4 degrees of Scorpio. This is falling in your 8th house, which is the house of the other people's money. Money that is the thing that I was talking about. So there might be some connection with that, like an inheritance and that sort of thing. And if for some reason those two events are connected, the inheritance might be something that you never thought you were going to get, or you didn't know this person, or like a long lost relative, or who knows. I actually think too, those kinds of investments may be like through day trading or something along those lines. Uranus being technology in the second could be cryptocurrency. So if it really blows up, maybe that's something that will impact you in a really great way. The full moon in the 8th house is very emotional because it's a water house, being Scorpio's domain. And so it's very intense and secrets can come out. It definitely can be this major ending. It's a house of death, but it can be the death of something within yourself that is adversely affecting you, because the eighth house can be purification. So, it's like the shadow self. So something can come out, you can realize something about the way that you behave. And again, with the first house in play and the eighth house, full moon, this can be a month of really evolving and learning more about yourself, Aries. On the 25th, Mercury goes direct, as I stated, in that first house at 16 degrees of Aries. And so things should start to kind of settle down with Mercury. But your first house isn't going to settle down because you have so much going on already. And proof and point, well, let me just say, on the 29th, Venus goes into Taurus, into that second house, further pointing out this sense of increase in money. Venus is a ruler of the second, and it can be about money, but it's the Venus feminine energy is magnetic, so it could be that you're a money magnet, really, in this month for multiple reasons. But then the very next day, Mars goes into your sign, and Mars is your ruler. So your ruler goes into your sign, and even on the physical level, see, Mars in the first house can be vitality. You're going, you might feel like you really want to work out all of a sudden. And not that an Aries person would not already feel like that, because Aries tends to be very physical anyway, and very, very, very energetic. So suffice it to say, this adds to that, not that you need it to, but be careful, because, you're already quite aggressive, or in the more positive sense, you are, very assertive, and you don't need more of that. So that could veer into bossiness and that sort of thing. So just be aware of that, and this can be yet more, maybe this is feelings of ambition, who knows? But I think this is going to be a banner month for you, Aries. I hope that this resonated with you, and if this would be a great time, if you would like to get a reading with me. I have double readings that not only delve into your natal chart to see what those influences are regardless of the year, just what you were born into, and then the transits for the next 12 months, because these are general transits, and it really does depend on your natal chart where things are going to fall during this time frame and beyond too. So that double reading is specially priced when you buy them as a package deal. It's called my deep dive reading. I have all kinds of readings, including love readings, career readings. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Bye.